Hi! How you doing? In this video, I want to talk to you about a relatively new addition to my collection. This! I first came across Price's work some 10-15 years ago when I got a copy of Kirk Lawson's fabulous book, Banned from Boxing. Kirk was one of the first people to really dig into the techniques of classical pugilism. In fact, I think he may have been the person responsible for the term classical pugilism itself. But his book brought together a whole selection of early instructionals showing quite how much grappling and wrestling there was in early boxing and how much of it has been banned along the way. Anyway, this isn't about Kirk's book, though if you're watching this, Kirk, we should probably do a video together soon. There isn't a huge amount of information easily available about Price the person, but it's clear from the start that he was a very clever and very interesting man. Born in England to a Welsh father in 1829, he worked as a bricklayer before turning to boxing. He emigrated to America in 1850 and fought successfully many times, including a very famous bout with Joe Coburn in 1856 that lasted 106 rounds. It was eventually declared a draw, much to Price's disgust. It turned out the referee had bet against Price, and however well he fought, he was never going to be awarded the win. He immediately retired from prize fighting and put his intelligence to good use, working first as a translator and then as a lawyer. In his spare time, he wrote not just this amazing book, but also several successful plays. He died in 1907. There are a few things about this book in particular that I love. Firstly, the style of the art he describes. It's clear that he's not just trying to teach you boxing, this is genuinely self-defense. There's a section on clinch fighting, as well as a section on wrestling, and my personal favourite, a section entitled Corpulency, Its Cure and Prevention. I'm on a bit of a weight loss crusade right now, and so I think that section might well need its own video. Do let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me follow a weight loss program from the 1800s. All that aside though, the most striking thing about this book is how beautifully well written it is, how reasonable and objective and well thought out his advice is. Let me read you something. One moment. Still blind. To administer a blow with sharp and telling effect, it is absolutely necessary that you should be precise and clean in your delivery. Otherwise, instead of injuring your opponent, you are liable to disable yourself. This must, as a necessary consequence, render you liable to defeat, even though you may be infinitely stronger than your adversary. To avoid this, your first attention should be given to the position of your arms. They should invariably be disposed in an easy attitude, which, because it is easy, is certain to be graceful, as ready to repel an attack efficiently as to retaliate upon by assailing your adversary. The position of the arms will, however, have to be varied according to your own capabilities. No specific or invariable rule can be given which is applicable to every kind of figure, disposition or weight. There are perhaps in the world no two pugilists whose position is precisely alike when they spar or fight, as no two poets treating the same subject would deliver themselves of the same numbers, as no two painters when embodying the same subject could treat it in perfectly the same manner, and as no two men possess exactly the same lineaments. So is it almost an impossibility for two pugilists to take exactly the same attitude, however nearly the physical conformation of one man may approach the other. However, while we state this, there are rules, without the observance of which neither the poet nor painter can do anything worth looking at. So there are rules for the position of the arms, which you would do well to attend to if you intend covering yourself or punishing your opponent. This reminds me very much of something I heard Wade Shallers say multiple times, which was simply that teaching techniques to a group of people was always going to be relatively ineffective, as everybody's body was different. How tall they are, how flexible their joints are, what their limb length to body ratio was, what injuries they're carrying. All of these things affect what sort of moves you're likely to be able to do well, or even more subtly, how you may have to adapt a move to make it work for you. Which I suspect was exactly what Billy Robinson meant when he said he wasn't in the business of teaching people how to wrestle. His goal was to teach you how to learn how to wrestle. Anyway, that's The Science of Self-Defense by Edmund Price. It's an absolutely amazing book and I'm so pleased to have been able to add it to the collection. I'm in the process of finishing up the first of my new collection of written instructional works, and this book is going to feature heavily as a source. Everyone that's a paying supporter over at Patreon will get it for free, so maybe now's the time to head across and sign up. I'll make sure there's a link in the description. If you're not in a position to do that right now, that's cool, but perhaps you could subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Liking, and more importantly, sharing the videos here has a huge effect on their success. So go and tell your friends, maybe post a link on Reddit or any other relevant forums you hang out on, and we'll come back to price soon, I hope. And to those of you still here at the very end of the video, fight team!